that
it's not sometimes
like seriously, dude, you ain't coming clean. It's like, dude,
I wanted
you're
to say something,
but like you got.
I want to make a bit. I wanted to make a video.
Clearly,
pricing
your
so
wife.
If
you got a wife, she's cheating on you.
Margin, right? You got to be able to look at things
too much time on their hands. We'll leave it at that.
I was in my office,
of mine
and my girl found out I was making parody accounts.
I tried for a year,
dude.
They were with
dude.
If we hear this, they were with one big 3PL.
Bro, bags get out.
I was like, what the fuck?
She said, what are you doing?
Later,
hey, what are you doing?
Get anybody to
nothing,
give me
just making a parody account.
Like, dude. And I kept saying, it's like, I knew they had so many challenges. They had like 7 different locations. Everybody was all scattered. Nothing was centralized. Billing was all over the map. So 2016, it was summer 2016, legit. I remember this right before I took off. I think it was the 28th of June. Was taken off for like 4th of July, right? I ended up warm calling that company, and I don't know how I didn't know, but the new controller comes out and she's like, I fucking hate this billing. And I was like, she's like, can you help us? And I was hear me out though. I knew the billing was bad. She literally makes copies of invoices there. She goes, come back to my office. So I go back to her office. She prints out all these invoices. She's like, it wasn't even price, dude. It was just like, for her, it wasn't price, right? But I knew it was. So I was like, all right, I'm going on vacation. I come back and I just pull out all this pain. They had 3 other controllers come in. President didn't come in yet. And they were so tied to this 3PL. And she was like, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. She like loved me. And she's like, you're never going to get this deal unless you figure out some way, because we don't even pay for shipping. And I was like, what do you mean? I see invoices. She goes, yeah, but we're making a profit off it. I was like, wait, I was like, bingo. So I was like, that's probably why I could never get anything. So they were making around, long story short, they were making around $50,000 a year profit. Customer, their customers didn't care, right? They were charging their customer freight, marking it up, keeping 50 grand, which is what you should do, right? That's how you make
super common. Yeah.
So I had to switch it when I looked. So I had their invoices. I was like, all right, it doesn't matter how much I can do for this company. The president was not going to he's making 50 grand. Why would that's unheard. That's like crazy. You know, to think it's like, I got to think of some way to look at this. So I was like, dude, their customers, it's not like their customers are bitching about the freight prices. I can save them money, but I gotta position this in a different way. So it's not like I'm saving money. So what I did was I said, hey, listen, finally I got the president in, had a meeting of the minds. They had a vice president of supply chain. I said, listen, guys, what about this? Put aside all the operational stuff you already know I can do. I said, here's the cost analysis. And I'm walking them through it. I said, here's your current, here, hold up. I'll share it.
Got it pulled up.
No, but boom, baby, boom.
There we go.
So if you look at this is a week's invoice, or week's apples to apples, right? So what I did was, it's so crazy looking at my old phone number back in 2016. I don't know why that's weird, but if you look at this, it shows, okay, so what I did was their customer rate, what they're charging their customer, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously the carrier matched those carriers up, and their current profit, right? So their current profit for that week was a little over $1,000, but I did it lane by lane too. Then you'll see what I did is I put our rate, and then I put the cost saving, but then you add that into, okay, now you're profiting $24 on that lane. So I said, so how I positioned it is, and then even though I wanted to show them, we're not going to be the cheapest on every lane, but you're still going to be profiting, right? You're already running a profit center. So this is an all approach. So I said, look what we can do is, your customers aren't complaining about the rates. We can still pass along the rates. You could still give them that 162, but you're just pocketing an extra $5, and then so on, so on. So I said, big picture, put the savings aside. You're profiting out of what? Your current profit is 53 grand a year. We're going to be able to get you $149,000 of profit. Dude, it was like, it seems simple, right? But it's like positioning that game. It was like, dude, president was like, I can't turn that down.
Yep. Yeah.
It was like, he really had no time, not much ties with it, but it's like the way he had his situation. It was a great situation. I would have never got that deal. Never, no matter how much operational stuff I actually brought to the table after, no one cared. They cared about the 150 grand that they're going to be putting back inside their company. And I was like, dude, it was like, I think that was like but anyways, when I saw some, I don't think people like really real. I think people got it wrong when they talk about pricing, right? It's like there's so much more to pricing, and I 100% believe that because one, I started at a company that made us learn pricing, right? Get invoices, learn pricing, but also learning small parcel and learning, okay, when you're a reseller of small parcel, you can't win on price, dude. Yeah, you can save them. Anybody can come in. FedEx can come in and kill us, right? You had to strategically look at things. And I 100% learning how to price and look at pricing models and everything with small parcel, was able to transition that into like freight. It was a game changer, dude. It's like, it's so much more. There's so much more to go into it than just, I'm nerding out right now, but there's so much more to go into like pricing things. One, it's like you need the invoices, right? But two, it's like you need to understand how people are allocating freight, or even, run how they're allocating their freight. Are they even paying for it, or are they making a profit? Maybe it's between the one or two questions to ask is going to get you either a shot at getting that company, getting the business, or not, right? Because that company would have never fucking ever gave me the deal if I didn't position it that way, or even knew they were actually profiting. I just went on rant on some pricing.
No, it's so good, and I've got a little laundry list going on in my head of things I want to talk about. I put one in the chat just so I don't forget. We'll circle back to it later. The parody account of Midwest Mike. I got to learn more about that. But what we're talking about right now, and I know you're applying it specifically to freight, but that's a mistake that so many, I was gonna say young reps or new reps, but there's so many reps in general. I've been guilty of that as well. It happened to me recently. I transitioned industries, and our biggest thing was, obviously with most deals is saving people money. And we were staffing warehouse workers. So I was so gung-ho, going so hard. I found out the data from accounting. I was telling the whole C-level how much money I could save them. And just like you said, they're like, we don't give a shit. We don't pay for any of that. Like, we don't care. But I didn't even, in my mind, I'm like, who wouldn't care about saving money? That's huge. I'm saving them thousands, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's just, like you said, it sounds simple, but pausing, what is important to my buyer? Because we all think about the seller's journey. We think about how we sell, how we position our product, what our advantages are. When really we should be thinking about how are they buying? What do they care about? Where does this money go? What's their process? If I'd stop for 2 seconds to learn their business, ask the two questions like you said. And so I burned my bridge on that first shot because I was like, oh, it's so simple, but you got to take the time to ask those questions.
You're spot on. And honestly, dude, it's like, I think it's funny, as I posted something yesterday about, pitching off the rip and doing a little homework, knowing, like, for instance, that company that I was like, I reached out and said, hey, I did my homework, right? Basically, I opened it with, hey, am I pushing a square peg through a round hole by, is that relationship unbreakable? They used 13PL. So right there, it's like, okay, this person knows who we use, right? That just gives and he's aware of, like, he just doesn't want to waste anybody's time. That's like a big, huge thing. Like, that took me 10 minutes to go reach out and call. And I didn't have a bunch of stuff. I didn't get the deal, right? But I got it's not really getting the deal that I think people need to pause that, right? Again, it's like getting a seat at the table and a shot. That's what adds up. And it's like, more times than not, you've seen me cold call. I'm not getting hung up on. Most people will take my meeting, right? Because it's like, there's a couple things. It's like, okay, I did a little research, but even when I didn't, just the way you're positioning it, it's not like I'm talking more or less like, hey, dude, no harm, no foul. I could do X, ABC. I did a little homework. I'm not calling you to waste your time. Where it's like, dude, I got a couple close founders that I work with, and they'll send me emails of people that pitch them from freight. And dude, you only know, but I'm just
those, dude.
But I'm just like, damn, man, I want to like help these people, because it's like, why are you talking about freight with these people? Yes, we understand that's how you I make my money off freight, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's just not, I don't know. You gotta figure out. And then again, personalizing things is more or less like, people believe personalization is like, let's look up Facebook and And I was that guy too. In the beginning of my career, I was like, I want to be friendly with everyone. I want them to like me. And it was just like, they don't give two shits about you, dude.
I hope your dog's birthday was fantastic. It's like, no, but you're absolutely right. That's what everyone thinks that's what it is. But I think what the path that you just broke down is so important. I think most reps are calling to win the deal. Then the next bucket, who realize that's not it, they're calling to set the meeting. And I think the ones who are really doing it right, backing it up a little further, what their mindset is, they're just calling to earn the next 15 seconds of time on the phone. And I think that's where you can, when you said yourself, you call, you sound different, you're taking a different approach up front, your opener is just so different. They're like, oh, this is a real guy. I'll give him, what's up, Mike? What do you want? And then that what you say in that next answer, I think then buys you 30 seconds and so on and so forth. Maybe that's too granular, but I think it's just shifting your mindset of not calling to slam dunk every time.
I agree. I honestly don't. And I was having this conversation with, won't mention the name, but it was just like, he does sales, right? And he's more like, you know what I'm talking about. Dude's podcast, I'm going to go on, but he was talking about, he worked with a couple. We were laughing because I was like, I know, dude, I feel like I'm like the black swan of like logistics. Cause it's like, I feel like more times than not, I fit more into like SaaS, right? Cause it's like, we were talking about
your approach. Yeah.
Cause yeah, it was like, he was like, yeah, legit. He's like, people would kill, like no one has a process there. And I was like, I don't understand. Right. I believe it's like, dude, it's broken. Most people, it's like everybody talks about logistics like it's only FTL, right? Like it's like, oh, the loads are high. Dude, you do know there's a million other aspects to, like, I mean, let's not even talk about like technology and all that shit. LTL, small parcel. Like everybody wants to talk about the markets up and down. Half these people are doing e-commerce, going straight direct to consumer. You do know that small parcel. It's like, if you're going to be, I mean, there's just so much more to go on to it, but I believe that nobody knows really what kind of like they don't understand like the challenges that go on inside a company that they can actually solve. They don't. It's like, it's not that difficult, but it's like, you only know what you know. And when you get into a company, and again, I got to realize that too, when people are like, dude, this is so crazy. And to me, it's easy, right? Cause it's like, that's how I was trained, but it was like, but I take a step back. I should probably get off this. It's like, it's just chilling out there, but it's
it's just a beautiful spreadsheet. I think you what you're doing is, and I don't know if this comes with time or you just had great training. I've heard you have calls. You've posted your cold calls. Sometimes you don't even talk about logistics at all. You're having a business conversation.
Well, that's it.
I hate to make it that simple, but I think that's what it is you're just having a business conversation, and they don't train that. I went to business school. You don't learn that there. I went through freight sales training. You don't learn that there. I've been to dozens of sales seminars, and maybe one talks about that, when most are, here's how you do a vicious cold call hook. Here's how you write an email. Like, that's all fine. But once you get in front of a CEO, an owner, a CFO, none of those things matter. You just have to be able to have a business conversation. And I don't know where you can go to learn that, I guess, is what I'm trying to think about.
Bro, you got it. Like, I didn't read a fucking sales book for 3 years. It's like, most people are so like, dude, you don't know what to implement, dude. If I would have read a sales book, like a real sales book, like when I started my career, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I just had to just do it. Right. That's where it came to. It was like, oh, like, we had a playbook, or we got trained when we were in our company, but it was like, I swear to, I read it all the time now, but now it makes sense to me where it's like, okay, I can implement that. But in the beginning, it was like, dude, simple steps, go out and just do it. Have some conversations. Dude, it was lit. I mean, we talk about it a lot, but it was like, it's people overcomplicate the shit out of this. It's like, dude, listen. It just shut up. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just like, you don't put the books, and I hate saying that, like, put the books down, but it's like, dude, put the books down. Keep it, like, go out and make some calls. Don't even listen to whatever I say. Go out and just call some people. Get a feel for that, because it's like, dude, it's awkward as shit until especially if you're not like naturally just like you don't care. You just have some kind of natural ability you like to talk to people. It's a little awkward, but it's like, you start learning, and it's like the biggest issue is if you can't teach that's another thing. If you can't teach yourself, like self-learning is a huge thing, but it's like, put aside all the stuff, just go do it. Like all this bullshit about like, dude, I even overcomplicated it. And I got to go back to it. It goes back into my head where I'm just like, dude, what the fuck am I doing? Go out there and make a call, right? You'll learn. And then once you have some type of like some results of what you're doing, years, like, I mean, then yeah, pick up a fucking book. That's probably I'm going to get some shit for that, but it's like, dude, it's like picking up fucking algebra or calculus book and just being like, I need to learn all this when you don't even know the beginning of it. You don't even, I think you've never
added and subtracted. It's like, yeah. Well, I think it's akin to the meme that I used to see popping around, and it's like, who would you rather have work on your car? The kid who has who just graduated from 6 years of the doctorate of engineering, or the guy who's been changing oil and tires every single day? Like, it's like I think you have to have the practical knowledge. You have to see the thing, learn the industry, and something you said, and then you started to say, then you unsaid, right? When you mentioned if you're good at talking to people, but before that, you're like, you have to care. And I think that's really important, because if your end goal is just meeting, numbers, you're going to have your agenda. But I think all you should be doing the first 3 to 6 months is just asking questions. Hey, accounts payable, what's your day like? Hey, CFO, what bothers you every day? Don't you never ever say what bothers you. That's the lamest question. But you have to just learn. Just learn.
Ask that. You know how many things I've done that it's like there is no process. Like in the beginning, it's just like, I think again, it goes back to overcomplicating. Just do it, right? You gotta learn to take a few fucking chances, right? It's like, dude, you think the first time I remember in making a call to the CEO, I was like, man, I feel so businessy. I'm just feel awkward. Hey, what's up, dude? It's Mike. And I was so nervous, but it fucking played out. But I was like, dude, you just got to do it, right? But anyways, it goes back into people. Let's get back on the track though. So it goes back into 2 dudes, no script. We don't know what we're talking about. We got off on. I got off on pricing. Maybe it's like 1 dude, Connor reels me in. 1 dude, no script with Connor. That does.
One dude, Connor's the bowling lane bumpers. But hey, real quick, we can't gloss over it because it just sounded juicy. What's going on with the parody account of Midwest Mike? I didn't know there was such thing.
Bro, I posted it. That was like a year ago, dude. You don't even like me, man. Come on.
I don't even read your content now.
No, I didn't even know. I had a Twitter. I had like a 20. I never went on Twitter. And my homegirl, she goes, hey, you know you made it. She DMs me. She goes, you know you made it when you got a pay. I didn't even know I couldn't even pronounce parody. I didn't know what parody was, but I was like, I got excited for a sec. I still did, but I was like, woo, someone's bragging about me. It was like just shitting on me. And I didn't give, bro. The fact of the matter is someone actually took the time to make a fucking way better Twitter account than I did. I was like, dude, that Twitter account's way better than mine.
That should say the login details now.
That was where logistics guy came from. It was like, look, it was like the logistics god. I do all this. I literally, so I read it and I screenshotted it, and then that's what I'm supposed to say. I posted it, and I
remember. I didn't know that was the same as logistics god thing.
I go, look, Mom, I made it, and it really, I don't give 2 fucks. But like at the end of the day, it's like, can you imagine being that person? Like, think about that. You're that, like, bro, I took a step back and I was like, I don't really care. But I'm like, in a way, I'm like, damn, that's got to be so fucked up to be that. Like, I hope you don't have a wife. I hope you don't have a family. If you are literally wasting any amount of energy making a parody account, God, why?
Mind you, that person's likely a fully grown adult. It's just
why? It's like, dude, why?
What do you gain from this person? I can't wrap my head.
I don't know what the fuck it was actually funny too. I hope to God they deleted it, but I hope to God one day you'll never find out. Like, I swear to God, I would no one would ever, like, dude. If it was, I feel like it was a dude, but it was like. But I wish it would happen. They would come clean and be like, but dude, you're such a bitch that seriously, dude, you ain't coming clean. It's like, dude, you're that, like, you gotta be broke. Like, clearly your wife, if you got a wife, she's cheating on you. No, I mean
too much time on their hands. We'll leave it at that.
If I was in my office and my girl found out I was making parody accounts of fucking other dudes, dude, bro, game over. Bro,
yeah, bags packed. Get out, Mike.
She said, "What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Just making a parody account." Like, dude,
someone on the internet hurt my feelings.
Listen.
Just being themselves. But hey, anyway, what are we talking about today?
Parody accounts and how broke they are. Yeah,
that's it. Oh no, you froze. Oh, now you're back.
You really, let's have some fun with this. Do you imagine that?
I can't, man. And that's I was reading something the other day, and it's like. It was Scott Leese did a whole series of them. Oh, I wish I could remember the format. It was like the kind of people who leave negative comments on your LinkedIn are like the same people who stand up the second the airplane lands, or like they're the same people with their phone brightness on full volume in the movie theater. It was like a whole series of those kind of things. But I feel like these are all the same people, man. It's I was reading a story the other day of like on a similar kind of thing on Reddit. And the answer was, the same kind of people who follow you 30 minutes out of their way in your car if you cut them off in traffic. It's like these people have so much time and must hate themselves so much. I mean, I don't know where else this kind of actions come from.
It's the people that don't like any of your shit, but like the negative comments people put on your shit.
I never even thought about that.
You know, I put like I lost 2.8 million. He deleted his comment. This random dude fucking literally out of nowhere he goes, "That's cash flow, not fucking profit." And he just like tried to rip me apart. I didn't respond. And then I blocked her because she's just like, dude, she's just this CEO of this like orange company. And she's just always bitching. Like, I'm just like, and then she liked that guy's comment. I was like, you're such a fucking loser. You fucking orange peel.
Well, and that's the part I don't get with some of these people who leave these crazy comments on LinkedIn.
This lady is probably 55 years old. You literally felt the need to like some dickhead's post when I said, hey, I lost $2.8 million. Bro, go talk about your orange peels. Like, people are so fucked up, man. It's like, that's why no wonder people are like so broke, dude. It's like inflation. No, you just suck.
You spend all your extra time just shitting all over people on the internet who are trying to better themselves.
President of a company and you're shitting on a fucking 32-year-old that lost $2.8 million. You need help.
That's the part I don't get is these are high-ranking people of like sizable. Well, I'm just saying, if you're in the C-level, I think your image is the company image, though. So to go around the internet acting like the internet's not forever, people are screenshotting these things. Your clients are seeing these things. I just don't. I can't understand the reference. Like, there are so many reasons not to do that. How are they still acting like that? I just can't get it.
The guy that posted that also only had 3 connections. So it goes back to someone's out there just, I know someone's out there. I thrive off that. It's like, bro, I had close people fuck me over and hate me. Tom from fucking, it was like, general manager of my own company. And I was just like,
yeah.
Thanks, Thomas.
But hey, trying to like flip this into something usable. I like your perspective that you take on this, as opposed to like letting it get to you. It's almost like it's lighting your fire. You're thriving off of it.
It makes me have some fun, dude. It's like something to laugh about, like with your buddies. It's just like, bro, you know.
And was it you that said, or someone in the last 2 weeks said, don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from? I think it was you.
I said my one thing in sales is don't take a no from someone that doesn't have the authority to give you a yes.
Yeah. Any of those kind of things. I mean, I think it just goes back to consider the source. It's not going to have any validity or weigh on me because like it's Tom from my own company talking shit. So yeah.
No, I mean 100%. So let's get back off the parody. What do we want to talk about?
the parody account.
Parody. But
there you go.
So yeah, it was funny I started. I'm working on a playbook thing, but like I think I'm going to focus at the beginning is like just like the 2 biggest outcomes I want to help people with is just like getting qualifying, right? Just like there has to be steps, right? Certain steps, but it's like more or less like figuring out, like, if you were to ask like 10 people right now, 20 people in our industry, like I started looking at everybody's posts, right, in our industry, like what's going on. And nobody's really like, it's just like, it blows my mind because nobody's really trying. It's like, it's so focused on we're on the next podcast or look what we accomplished. What? Okay, that's great, but bring some value to your fucking reps. Like you have a shit sales team. You have like nobody. You're not giving any value, and it's like I shouldn't let it bother me, but it does bother me because it's like there's so many people that are getting their careers fucked and just like turned and burned and learning no tangible skills. Like if you're gonna be with a company that turns and burns you, at least get something out of it. And it's like it sucks, man, because especially now it's like it's not a hard industry, but more people than not, the clout or the attention gets the attention gets brought on to the people that it's like, dude, look at me. I'm a rebel. I'm doing this. It's like, dude, who are you fucking helping? Help someone. And I know that's wrong. Like even I care about it though. That's where I'm passionate about. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm just like, dude, I have to if it's the last thing I do, if I'm watching all these YouTube things like Floyd Mayweather and fucking Mike Tyson, like legacy. If it's my legacy, I don't give a fuck about being popular on LinkedIn. I don't give a fuck about any of that. If I can make an impact on 5 people's careers,
oh yeah,
that's like something that again, that's like what I.
So it's gonna be like the freight SDR or like the freight sales playbook.
I don't even know. Like, no, it's just gonna be like, dude, what? Like, figure out how. Just some type of. Here's the thing: is I want to give people a roadmap that don't have a roadmap, and clearly everybody
needed
out to me doesn't have zero. It has zero of a roadmap to the point where it's like, damn, I can't believe like to the something as small as like not even knowing they can help these people do the simplest things.
Mike, I went to a 2-week training. Or a week long, I don't know, a week or 2 long training when I first started in freight sales. And for the first half of it, they found out I was actually in the wrong training. I was learning carrier side. That was hilarious. And the second half of my training, when they finally realized I was in the wrong place, we didn't learn anything. We learned like, this is a truck, this is a pallet, and that's cool. But like, then they're like, okay, go do sales. What's our competitive advantage? What problems do we solve? How can I help these people? How do I qualify an account? Huh?
You know what an FAK is. Good luck.
yeah. Here's the dim divisor. Get after it. But yeah, and so I think you're right. And here's the saddest thing: the President's Club people, the reps who were killing it at our company, instead of turning around and teaching their best practices, they were like lone wolfing it, bragging like, "You'll never be this cool. I'm so good. Look at everything I've done." And I'm like, can you help me?
Fucking SDR. That's where I don't try. If you never were a full cycle rep and got into President's Club, kiss my ass. That's
100%. So when I became full cycle, what I had to do was you basically taught me the front side and how to cold call and everything. I had Albert and Colleen, the freaking ops geniuses, helping me on the back end of things. And then there was just Brent passing me monsters. But I had to build my own crew of like trainers. And so I think you're absolutely right, man. If you made some kind of playbook for those people, they would have such a leg up that I don't think exists right now.
I'm ready to just give out so yeah, I appreciate that. And I agree. I also was thinking, so I've saved every single Zoom meeting I've ever had. I record every single Zoom meeting since 2018. I'm thinking about just raffling them off from discovery to closes to not closing to implementation. I have like literally, it's insane. Like, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
It's crazy, dude. But I was looking at him. I was like, holy fuck, I really got a lot.
From what year?
2018.
Like, dang, that's a lot.
I wish I.
Wait, shout out Chris. Taught me all the stuff of how to manage and do enterprise sales. Thanks, Chris. I forgot him when I said my crew. You the real one. So 2018 to now. So like, do you have it in folders? How is that divided by types, or is it just a messy file drive?
It's a bunch of mess. I have so much. Dude, I have literally probably 7 stacks of like these bins of sales playbooks. I have 3 I have 3 or 4 Google Drives, OneDrives. So I've been actually, dude, I have literally 9 like fucking you. Dude, I have like literally my whole life. I found like a 2013 school report. That's how fucking much. But I've been actually going through them and trying to kick out at least clean up a few here and there. Like every day my goal is to clean up at least, like I'll spend like 1 hour cleaning it up, labeling it, just so I'm not looking for it. That's what I was always doing, finding it, then just tossing it in something. At least I know I have it. So there's a lot, but that's another thing. It's like, that's where I've been really kind of focused on, is just like building something out like that. I have so much stuff.
Have you ever messed with I think there's a couple that do it, but the one that comes to mind is a gong.io, I think.
I've
heard it takes, so all your Zoom meetings are recorded, and then it goes through and it uses AI to like your talk time, their talk time. It breaks down the topics, pricing, discovery, keywords. Like it's actionable, I guess, information for all your Zoom calls. I would be curious if you could dump in, though. I wonder, can you take all 5 years you have, dump it in there, and like get crazy data and stats?
$1,000 though. I think that shit's like $1,000 to do it. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Hey, if you're a Gong rep or their competitor, who I can't, maybe Clary, who I can't remember right now, call Mike.
Unofficial sponsor of Gong.
You want to be sponsor number 1 after Mosey?
Dude, Mosey, he's getting too big for us, man.
His ego, man. But I mean, so you've got these playbooks, you have these Zoom recordings. Where do you start though? And I think that's where I would struggle if I were trying to cater to this group or solve this problem. Is where do you start?
First off, this is exactly what I'm doing. Is shout out to Jay Welsh. Keeping it simple. First playbook is going to be 2 outcomes. I want to the potential customer or buyer to get out of it, right? And that's basics, right? Figuring out, knowing and understanding why you should qualify an account, but first and foremost, knowing and understanding the challenges that are happening inside companies to look for that are actually challenges outside of just a freight rate, right? Outside of the market going up and down, outside of all of that, knowing and understanding the impact supply chain and logistics has on an entire company and departments. Then it goes into qualifying those departments. Why do you call accounting? What's the challenges in accounting? What are the challenges from a micro level? Meaning, like, what are the challenges that could potentially be happening inside that one department? And then how does that ripple effect into the entire company? So it's accounting. It goes. That's what I say is I break it down by accounting, logistics, and sales. I'll keep it that simple. Accounting, logistics, and sales. Why it matters. What challenges to look for, what challenges when they have those challenges, what's the outcome from that department, and then what's the outcome or ripple effect outcome from those challenges into the entire organization. And I just break it down by, again, accounting, sales, and then logistics. And then logistics, people think they probably know all that stuff, right? But it's way different. It's like, we're not going to be on, I'll give a little, I mean, people that read my content know, but it's like, it's going to be more or less asking actual questions about processes versus calling and asking to be on a carrier.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, learn a few things first. Why would why am I calling in right off the bat and saying, hey, you get beat up all the time. I don't want to ask you to be on a carrier list. I had 2 questions for you, 3 questions. Why do I ask those questions the way I ask those questions? Because why do you ask that way, right? Because you should, again, the goal is you should know the challenges that you're already looking for, right? I don't have to say, oh, so you have challenges, you're doing everything manually. All I have to ask is, I know how to position it where it's like, hey, Connor, quick question. Don't want to be on a carrier list, but how do you go about your like selection of carriers? Can you just really quick run me through that process real quick? Oh, well,
first of all, I'm flattered that you called me Connor, not Colin. That's like the first time ever. I feel like we're getting closer. It only took us like 10 years. But no, real quick is my first question that comes to my mind, because and this is going to sound so corny, but companies pay consultants like $100,000, $60,000, 20, whatever it is for their time to literally come in and do this for their sales teams. If they're a good company that are trying to help their team, is this playbook going to be like? Is this like a $500 course? Are you giving it away? What's the deal with it? What do you know yet?
No, dude, but I know for a fact that I could probably help every single logistics company, at least on the front end. Like that's just something I'm about. There's not a person out there. And again, that might sound cocky, but I don't want to break the bank on anybody either, right? My time is really valuable. I don't want to keep writing playbooks. My thought is, again, I kind of more or less like rather be an advisor, right? And I'm not. And again, I'm always about paying it forward. I'm not trying to get rid. Like you know me, I help. I help out more people than ever, and don't charge a thing. I've been giving shit out already, just kind of testing it, right? What do you think is good about it? What do you think is bad? I don't have a price on it yet, but I
all the people I follow do same thing. They're like Will Allred with email. He sells his company, but he also gives out free templates every single day. Justin Welsh is consulting, drops gems on Twitter, those threads. Scott Least does the same thing. He sells his Scott Least consulting, but every day gives.
You could literally go through my LinkedIn, and if you wanted to, and spend hours and probably get the playbook, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or you could just grab the playbook. But I get what you're saying, and I think it's also smart from a marketing perspective to keep doing both. The best way to do your marketing is to say, hey, here's my content. It works. Go try it. And people are going to, if they like it and it works, they're going to want the rest.
I like logistics and I make money, but my true passion is like helping and training salespeople. Like it really is. Like I love
first guinea pig, bro.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Ryan Henningsen of the people that I manage, but you were my favorite.
Don't Rip and Jewel slamming dials in the conference room.
Yeah, but
rest in peace, Jewel.
It's just like I don't know. It's something about like. It's funny is because I always say is it's like. To the mat, if someone looked, this sounds so cocky, but it's like if you look at me, you would never say like, "Oh, underdog," right? Because I'm extremely good looking with a great personality, and I just kill it. But I mean,
that never gets old.
It really doesn't. It's like when I say that and I laugh, it's like I'm a douche because I know I'm a douche. Saying it even makes me a bigger douche, but it's still cool. Anyways,
so cool.
Back to Connor. Stop bragging on me. So, anyways, but no. Where was I at with that?
Playbook. You just like teaching people.
I do, yeah. I mean, dude, it's crazy that even like I never thought I would like. As soon as I went into management, because like it was like, do you want to just do enterprise? It was at Worldwide, just fly around and help people close these deals. And I was like, I always wanted to be George Clooney and Up in the Air is my mindset.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, dude, I just don't want to fire people. But then I was like, dude, I had a couple talks with some mentors. They're like, you can do way more than just that. You just have to. And I was like, you're right. It's like, so I remember getting my first hire and it was just like, it just sparked, dude. It was just like, I loved it. Right. It was like here was my point is like the underdogs, right? It's like, it's funny is because it's like, you wouldn't think I'm an underdog and I'm underdog doesn't have to mean you're not good. Right. It's more or less like just the one-off, like it's like you're even, no matter how good you are, it's like you always have it. Like maybe it's your own insecurity, but it's like you just don't feel like you fit in, and it just maybe that's what drives you, right? It's like winning is everything, right? It's like maybe it's just to you, right? And it's like I like to help those people that have all the talent in the world, but just don't have the leverage. As Marlon Craft says, I got all the skills in the world, just didn't have leverage. Slays it in some freestyle, but that's kind of where it's like I've always, I remember my first rep, it was like, damn, that feels really better. That feels so much better watching this kid kill it versus when I did it. Like it was like a weird feeling. I was like, damn it.
We're kind of watching the most beautiful, perfect story come together because that's what happened to you with your world's best manager, boss of all time. On last week's episode, everyone who haven't listened to it, go back and watch last week's episode. But your boss told you like you could crush it. You could be the best ever. You're going to do this. I'm going to throw my job on the line because I know you can succeed. And you did that. Now you've done it. You have succeeded. You've made a company that's, millions of dollars, and you're almost like coming full circle. Now you're going to go find your own little Mike Nemes. Maybe that's not the way that you're seeing it, but I'm just saying, if you from last week's story to this week's, it's kind of perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's even before I was even a manager. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I have always liked to help where I could help, right? Even if I didn't know it. It's like it's funny is because I had a call with this random CEO. She's awesome. She was like, I really think you got a TED talk. She saw me post like real is rare, and she was like, I really think you got a TED talk in you. you just got to work on some of your presentations. And she randomly, I love her. Awesome. She gave me the worst. She would criticize everything in my videos, but I needed that. Even this was like back to a year and a half ago. I got to reach out to her, but like, she was just like, hey, focus on, she would always, but anyways, but it was like to the point where I was like, she made a point. She was like, I didn't realize, I was scrolling through your LinkedIn. You have like multiple people that are like these recommendations from other like people that you to manage. This is more. She goes, this is more. You have more of these than most CEOs I know. Like I didn't realize that, but it was like just helping people, right? It's like I generally, I guess I like to do it more than I thought I did.
Yeah. But if I haven't given you one, I got to go do my own. But that's it says a lot though. And I mean, I think you mentioned earlier is making a difference with 5 people very intimately versus making a broad sweeping tiny difference for like thousands. And what's bigger is hard to say. If you could change the entire course of 5 people's lives, I would argue that's a bigger impact than 10,000 people downloading your one email template. I'm not saying one's better or worse. They're just different. But I don't think you can say one is bigger or not.
Here's the thing: is most people, when that comes, they're 99% of people probably going to take it, learn some stuff. But that's like with anything, no one's going to really implement it. You got to really, but the ones that actually say, "Hey," the ones that want to implement it, right? That are always like on you, blowing you up, wanting to learn. Those are the ones that it's like I can tell, right? It's like the ones that like just shoot me DMs. I might not respond all the time, but it's like the ones that I see, I'll go through my DMs. I was doing it this morning, thinning them out. The ones that actually want to learn, right? And those are again, nothing wrong with the people that want to buy it. And it's like the people that buy all those sales courses, right? And they don't implement anything. It's like they want to.
They don't even watch them.
It's like they get 1 million sales. They go to 1 million sales seminars and take 0 from it, right? It's like all learning without any action is just fucking suicide. So it's like, but that's fine. That's not who you're going to impact. But if I can, but again, they're going to buy it. But if I can impact, like you said, if I can impact one person's life, just drastically change it, that's something. That's good.
I think where I was going with that is I think that having that mindset is why you're good at it, is why you get recommendations, because I don't want to say it's like a pure focus, but your focus is on the person. And going super full circle, even back to cold calling, back to your playbook, back to, and by the way, everyone, we started this call asking, what's our topic today? And now we're on a 45-minute tangent. But having the view of how can I help this one person is why your playbook's going to be broken down by operations, by sales, by whatever. And when you're having a cold call, I think focus on that person. What are their day-to-day issues? What are their day-to-day problems? What do they care about? When you lead with that intention, I think you're always going to have a better outcome than when you're focusing on what do you give a shit about. That was my piece there. I thought that was cool that it was all intertwined.
I love it. Your kid's crying, dude.
Yeah, say work from home life, guys. COVID, am I right? 2 weeks to stop the curve. We're 2.5 years in.
Wait, are you serious? What's going on?
No, I was just saying it was supposed to be 2 weeks of working from home, and here we are 2.5 years later.
Oh, I thought there was like other
working from home with my kids still crying.
Is Justine home?
Yeah, she's got him. I know, no, my kids are by themselves in a basket, bro. I got them in a cage, like a dog crate.
Two dudes, no script comes first.
Yeah, it's 12:40. Oh, it's 12:45, so it's nap time.
All right, well, let's take this full circle. Where do you want to go with this?
Well, I think we've almost full circled it, but I would say what can people who've watched this, they've heard some stuff, they've seen some stuff. Is there anything they can go do or try, or like what's an actual thing they can take away from this and go put it into place? That's what I would like to give an actual cool thing people can do.
My post yesterday breaks down pretty good on, we got to make those slides, but I say, learn a few things that impact that learn a couple challenges. Don't think about freight, right? Don't think about freight pricing. That's not a challenge, right? Let's put that aside. Don't think about the market up and down. Think about actual challenges inside a company. Figure 1 or 2 out that impact the entire company, and really start asking questions on like how that impacts them, right? That's the biggest thing. Is it's like reach out to accounting, and I mean, I could tell you what impacts them, right? Because I know, but it's like go out there and ask them, hey, do you get invoice? Hey, just asking questions in accounting will make you start feeling a little bit more comfortable, right? And I say don't spend so much time researching about what impacts does, or what challenges does accounting have when it comes into like invoicing, right? Because you're gonna overthink it. I say just call them, give them a call and say, hey, listen, do you have any issues with your invoicing? Like, it can be that simple. It's like, hey, I work with so and so. I work with Global Chans. Quick question. When you're getting in, do you actually handle the invoices when it comes into your freight? Okay, cool. Are those coming in all over the map? And I mean, do you have any issues with them? Just asking, right? I mean, it just sounds cheesy, but it's like, dude, you'll start getting a little bit of a feel of like, a lot of people are going to hang up, or not hang up, but people are going to be like, I don't handle this. It's not my realm. But you still need that too. I think it's like just getting out there and asking a couple questions. You'll start being able to like position questions better. And it just gives you more reps. And I know people say like, don't beat up the phones. And I agree to some extent, but it's like, you got to have numbers to actually get a little bit of dirt under your nails, right? It's like, you have to figure that out first. And you got to, again, just asking questions like that is going to make you feel more comfortable and learn.
If my favorite thing ever, if you're nervous about being new to an industry, new to a role, new to a job, when you're making those calls, something I would do to instantly make everyone just feel more comfortable. Hey, Mike, really sorry, man. To be frank, I'm new. I'm still learning. Hoping you can help me out. And just by saying I'm new, that's out of the way. Elephant in the room is acknowledged. The second, can you help me? Most people want to help. And so those two things, at least for me, hey, man, Mike, pardon me, man, I'm new.
You're the asshole gatekeeper.
No. I am. I'm getting better. But those two. But if they say that, even if I am a d-bag, which I am sometimes as a gatekeeper, if you tell me you're new and you want help, instantly change of mind. I'm gonna be nice to you. But I love that. Get the reps in. That's the most important. The tips aren't gonna help you if you've never tried and don't know what the landscape is like. Get those reps in. Ask questions. And that's it. That's probably a good end.
I can tell you every chat. Like, I can sit there and tell you what challenges. Like, if I call someone right now, it's easy, right? I could be like, oh, you get all these random. I'm like, you get all the random invoices just sent to you. Oh, bingo, right? But it's because I've done all that shit, right? I still like to ask, because it's just like, get the reps in. Stop paying attention to. Here's what I say: is stop paying. I'll ask this: if you ask yourself this question. Doesn't got to be online. Doesn't got to be anything. Just ask yourself if you see this and you ask yourself this question. Whenever look and be real with yourself. The majority, if the majority of the people you follow in the logistics supply chain industry, have they truly what they're telling you to do or what they're preaching about? Have they truly impacted your life? Do you make more money? Do you sell more deals? And if that's not what you're looking for, and again, that's fine. If they make you feel good and that's your vibe, dude, more power to you. But if you're someone that's struggling with money, if you can't make sales, you don't know what the hell you're doing, that's a huge question you need to ask yourself. Again, nothing personal, but am I following or am I consuming the content that's going to make me money? Am I following the people and content that's going to advance me in my career? That's a huge question you got to ask yourself. And again, nobody's going to do it for you, but it sure as hell is going to help if you're trying to make money, scale in your career, and it's been 2 years in the pandemic and you're still in the same spot you are when you started the pandemic. Listen, I'd rather not have any friends on LinkedIn. Lose the fluffy duffy people that say relationships. It's a hellhole out here. I'd rather burn those bridges and be able to go take my fiance out for a week vacation, 2-week vacation, because I focused on the right things to make sure that I was doing what I wanted to do in my life, making money, helping my customers, and growing in my career. So again, that's the way I look at things. And I would highly, I can't preach this enough. I would highly recommend, I do it too to this day. If you're not trying just to feel good and have a buddy, have friends on LinkedIn, and you really want to scale in your career and not have to worry paycheck to paycheck and what's coming next, that's a huge thing everybody needs to reevaluate in their head. And it's even me at times, right? Even me, you have to be real with yourself. And it's nothing personal, but damn.
That's the show.